Good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Those who are joining for the webinar session. Myself Nagarajan, and I'm the product manager of Vembu BDR Suite. So, I'm seeing there are a lot of attendees still keep on joining for joining the webinar. So we can actually give them another couple of minutes. So as per the schedule, we will start the webinar. So we'll wait for another couple of minutes. Thank you. I thank everyone for joining the webinar, and myself Nagarajan. I am the product manager of Vembu BDR Suite. So I'm gonna take care of the webinar, today's webinar. So before we begin the session, so I would like to explain about the thumb rule of this webinar. So all attendees will be in listen-only mode. So in case during the webinar session, if you got any questions, feel free to raise your questions on your question section, and one of my colleague will respond to you, or if he is getting a lot of questions, so you will be getting the response after this webinar session. So yes, so okay, so today we are going to discuss about how Vembu BDR Suite helps to protect the data of the modern data centers. Okay, why we are actually taking this particular topic right now? Because I mean, data centers are actually right now changing kind of, I mean, say it's not like when you see the data center a few years back. Okay, since the storage is now becoming commodity, so what happens, the data is growing really large. So right now we see there are companies having terabytes and petabytes of data, and they are seeing a lot of threats like ransomware or virus attack. So they would like to protect their data, but the data center is actually not designed in a traditional way. Okay, so yes, so what is the solution Vembu identified for such data centers? So we are going to discuss about that particular topic today. So okay, those who are new to these webinars, okay, so you know that we are actually running the webinars every month. Okay, I'm saying there are attendees, those who are participating in our webinars very frequently, and I see there are new attendees today. So I thought of giving them a brief introduction about Vembu. So Vembu, founded in year 2002, and we are actually doing this backup and disaster recovery software for more than a decade, and our software is actually used by more than 60,000 plus businesses. And we are offering 24/7 365 day support. And again, so you see, we reached more than 100 plus countries. Yeah, so we are not a new startup or a new kid in this business. So we know what the customer is expecting in terms of backup and disaster recovery. Okay, when we talk about the data centers, what is the change happening? I mean, whatever change happening right now is kind of a complete transformation from one segment from another. Okay, so traditionally, every data center will have a server, a switch, and again, it's on-premises data center. It's kind of so managing the data center will be like a painful job for the IT admins or IT managers. So they have to, I mean, say in terms of managing the applications. Okay, so the application dynamically grow very faster, and they have to take care of all those applications, and say the storage when they think about storage. So it's not only storage, so they have to think about the switch, and they have to make sure you have HPA in order to get better throughputs. Okay, so you have to think about a lot of things. So when you set up the data center, and then when you maintain the data center, but now you see it's very simplified with these type of hyper converged infrastructure, so which has inbuilt scale out storage concept, and so you can easily scale out your data center. So whenever you need to add a few more petabytes in your data center, you can just plug and play. So you can order a new device and you can plug and play. Okay, so everything is vertically scaled out now. So unlike say earlier, you have to vertically scale up. So you have to increase the resource of the same hardware like CPU or the memory. Okay, right now you can horizontally scale. Okay, so you no need to interrupt your existing operation. So you can easily scale out your infrastructure, like horizontally you can scale out your infrastructure. So there is a benefit you are getting. And again, say with this new type of data centers, you can reduce the manpower, you can reduce the budget of your maintaining the data center. So which means it gives you more flexibility, it gives you a simple approach towards managing the data center. So yes, that is the reason why we see there are a lot of companies right now switching into this type of hyper converged infrastructure, or it may be like anything kind of software defined storage. Okay, it's not only hyper converged. Okay, so right now we see there are a lot of companies is actually choosing a commodity hardware and they are using any software defined storage applications to simulate a similar infrastructure what AWS is offering and what Azure, Microsoft Azure is offering. So right now you will get a best software defined SDS softwares, and you get a commodity hardwares to set up your data center. So and again, say the backup software vendors in the market, you see they are actually providing solution to such traditional infrastructure. Right now you see these type of modern data centers actually they are actually migrating into the modern data center. So what is the solution we are having for such data centers? So yeah, and again, say when we talk about such data centers, okay, earlier it's very simple. Say either 90% of the data centers are private. Okay, but right now we see many of those data centers are actually right now migrated into cloud. So it may be public cloud like AWS or Azure, or any cloud like IBM cloud or any other clouds. At the same time, we do see there are businesses running their data center on both on-premises as well as cloud. So it's kind of a hybrid data center. So yeah, so to address the data protection for such data centers is a complex job for the backup software vendor. Okay, but Vembu, what we do is to say we actually predict all those transformation, and we designed the Vembu BDR Suite in such a way it will handle all those all such requests. Like say, do you have a private data center, completely private data center, or you may have a data center run in any public cloud infrastructure, or you may have a hybrid data center. Okay, we provide backup and disaster recovery solution. So yeah, so we know, say you may have any different types of data centers. Say some of you may right now still using a private data center, some of you migrated into a public cloud like Amazon Web Services or Azure, some of you might using both. So how do we address the data protection challenges? Okay, so there are not the traditional backup software vendors, legacy backup software vendors having a backup solution for such infrastructure. So I see, when I'm talking with the customers, okay, so I see there are they are actually using multiple backup softwares in order to achieve, in order to get a best backup and their solutions. So that is a reason. Okay, that is a major challenge right now they are facing. So with Vembu, you can back up all those servers running in the data center. It may be private or cloud or hybrid. So we provide backup solutions. So it may be the virtualized data center like VMware or Hyper-V or any other hypervisor, or it may be a physical machines like a Windows, Linux machines or Mac machines, or it may be instances running on Amazon Web Services or Azure VMs, or it may be applications like SaaS applications like Office 365 or Google Apps. We provide backup solution for all those infrastructures. So that is the difference between Vembu and other vendors. So we provide backup solution for every platform, and again we address all those challenges. See, the challenges what I'm talking about is like RTO and RPO. Yeah, let us see in next slides. So okay, before we discuss about the challenges and the solutions we offer for such data centers, okay, so I just thought of give you a brief introduction about the BDR Suite software. So the BDR Suite is having the product, the portfolio of multiple softwares, okay, so like the VM backup will help you to back up VMware and Hyper-V virtual machine. It's all completely agentless and entire virtual machine level backup. The image backup will help you to back up the Windows servers and the desktops running on physical machine. Okay, so yes, as I told, still there are many data centers running the applications on a standalone physical Windows server. So yes, we still provide backup solution for such data centers. And again, say it starts from we support from Windows 2003 to Windows 2016 and Windows XP to Windows 10. So all those Windows operating systems. So network backup, again, it will help you to back up specific files and folders. Say you may have a NAS storage having 100 terabytes of data available inside the NAS, and you are right now only rely on the replication functionality given by the NAS provider. Okay, so for that we provide backup solution, so you can actually back up all those files inside those NAS devices, and again you can set up the retention, even you can keep the data for modifications for 1 week or 1 month or 1 year or even 100 years. Okay, so you have the huge options for the retention. So and again, say it helps you to back up the files and folders or the specific applications from Windows, Linux and Mac machines. And as I told you, so there are multiple requirements we are saying. Say some data center IT admins would like to keep the data on their data center itself, so the on premises. Some would like to back up the data to the offsite location, and they want to keep one copy at their data center, replicate additional copy to their DR site or to any public cloud. So we provide backup solution for all such requirements. Okay, there is no restriction in using Vembu BDR Suite. So yeah, when we talk about these the major features, okay, so the first thing which will be like the RTO, okay, recovery time objective. What happens if your VM or the physical machine is actually corrupted or it's shut down due to any hardware or software failure? Yeah, you can instantly boot them as a VM on any hypervisor. Okay, this is the difference. I'm saying any hypervisor like VMware or Hyper-V or KVM. So you are backing up a VM from VMware or Hyper-V or from any hypervisor, or it may be a physical Windows server or even a desktop like a Windows 10 laptop. You can instantly boot them. Instant which means in a couple of minutes you can boot them on VMware or Hyper-V or KVM, any hypervisor. So there is no conversion, there is no migration. It's instantly booted by reading the data, which is still compressed, encrypted and deduplicated, which is stored on the storage targets, maybe NAS or some whatever storage targets. So this is the RTO we are right now offering. So it's less than 15 minutes. You can just up those machines and you can log into those machines and you can start working on it immediately. Okay, what happens if you lost one single file and you want to restore? Yes, you have this instant file level recovery, so you can fall back to any timestamp and you can actually select specific file and you can restore them. and say you will be given option to restore individual application items. So Vembu Universal Recovery Tool will help you to restore Exchange emails or user mailbox from Exchange, or the GPO from AD, or the database or a table from SQL database, or any site or document level recovery from SharePoint. So we can restore individual application items instantly without restore the entire VM or the physical machine. And okay, what about the RPO, recovery point objective? So what would be the data loss after the disaster recovery? So again, we promise you 15 minutes of RPO, so you can run the backup jobs every 15 minutes. And again, say we are actually having this changed block tracking technology for the backups. So when we after completing the initial full backup, everything will be only incremental, so only the changed blocks will be backed up. Again, it will be compressed and encrypted during the transfer, and again stored in the storage after applying the deduplication. So it will be very minimal modification, maybe in few MBs for every 15 minutes. So it's a very faster incremental backup. So again, I say the data loss will be very minimal. Okay, so because you run the incremental every 15 minutes, okay, there will be huge data loss. Okay, the third thing about the solutions, okay, what happens if the data which is stored on the storage device got corrupted? Okay, whatever happens to the storage. And again, say we introduced the automatic backup verification feature, which means whatever VMs we are backing up, it may be VMware VM or Hyper-V VM or Windows servers or workstations running on physical machine. Every day we will check whether those machines are bootable or not, and we take a screenshot, and the screenshot will be emailed to you, so you can verify. So all those data available on the storage location is actually recoverable. So there is no point in backing up a VM or machine where the data is corrupted. Okay, so it will actually ensure that you have a bootable, recoverable data available on the storage target. So at the same time, what happens if you have multiple volumes inside those virtual machine? And what we do is we have another test called a mount test. So which will mount all those volumes like C drive, D drive, or E drive, and it will actually tell you the status of the mountability. Like say all those volumes are mountable, and you can you have option to restore all those data from all those drives. So it will tell you the backed up data is actually recoverable during the disaster. So you will not be surprised when you try to restore a VM data and you see that the data is corrupted on the storage itself. So yeah, it happens with every other vendor. Okay, that's why we came up with such automatic backup verification feature. Will help you to avoid such scenarios. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, so the FEC and storage management, though you have a sophisticated hyper-converged storage target, or it may be a simple NAS, it may be a SAN, whatever it may be, you can use them as a storage target because we apply our own file system. Vembu High file system, it's a patterned file system, and it has inbuilt compression, encryption, and deduplication. So and again, we store the data in our own proprietary format. So what is the use of this file system? So you can easily scale out this file system. Say if you begin with the QNAP which has like 10 TB storage, yes, you just start with that, and once it got filled, you can just add another one, so that you can easily scale out the storage devices without interrupting the existing backup jobs, so or the backup activities. So it's very easy to scale out the storage. And again, so it will help you to so since as I told, it's a file system. Okay, what is the use of this file? Another use of this file system is it will create a folder called the Vembu virtual drive on the BDR backup server machine, and if you just navigate into that folder, you could see different virtual images for all those backed up VMs and physical machines. Which means, so if you are backing up a physical machine, you see VHT, VMDK, and IMG files. Okay, all those virtual image files everything is a bootable image file. So you can just copy the VMDK and put it on VMware data store, and you can create a VM. So which means you are migrating a physical machine into VMware. So as part of backup, we are also supporting this migration. So effortless migration, it's very simple. So you can migrate a physical machine into VMware or Hyper-V or KVM. At the same time, you can migrate a VM from one hypervisor to other hypervisor, like VMware to Hyper-V, or Hyper-V to VMware, or VMware to KVM, or KVM to any hypervisor. At the same time, you can migrate a virtual machine to physical machine. So yes, as part of a backup solution, we do support P2V, V2V, and V2P. And again, this is actually possible due to our file system. Okay, this is the architecture of Vembu BDR Suite. So you see, this is a centralized core server. Okay, it can be a Windows machine, or it can be a Linux machine like Ubuntu machine. So this core server will help to mount the storage targets. Okay, so you can attach storage target with this machine, and it will back up the data from VMware, Hyper-V, or Windows Server, and so this server will handle the backup load. Okay, and it will actually write the data on the storage device. And again, say if you would like to optionally replicate additional copy to your offsite DR site, yes, you can do this, or to Vembu Cloud. Okay, so we hosted our cloud servers in Amazon Web Services across all continents. So it will choose the nearest location for the replication. So your data will be replicated to Vembu Cloud. So in case of any emergency, you can download all those data from Vembu Cloud right away by using the online portal. And again, so you can build your data center anywhere. So I'm talking about, say, if you are right now having your data center on New York, and say you see there is a huge disaster, and you would like to restore all those data into the Las Vegas data center. So you can just download all those VMDK or VHD files, and you can create the infrastructure on Vegas by downloading the data from the Amazon Web Services. So this is very simple to migrate your data center from one city to another city. So during the disasters, or if you would like to run all those backed up VMs or physical machines to run as an Amazon instance, meanwhile, so you can just launch them as an instance on Amazon Web Services, and you can start working on it. So whenever you rebuild your data center, you can just restore them back to your data center. So again, say this will help you to back up the instances running on Amazon Web Services or the VMs running on Azure directly to your data center, which means, say, you need to install the Vembu agent, image backup agent, on those instances, and then you can back up all those VM data directly to your data center. So if anything happens to that particular instance, you can boot them as a VM by using a VMware or Hyper-V on your data center. At the same time, you can replicate the data to these public clouds. So if anything happens to your local data center, you can actually run them as an instance or VM on those public clouds. So this BDR Suite helps you to back up the data, the VMs or physical machines running on your local data center, and at the same time you can back up the machines running on your public cloud. So it provides a backup and DR solution to the data centers, which may be on premises or a public cloud or private cloud or a hybrid data center. So for everyone, so we provide backup solutions. These are a few of our customers, those who are right now using our software. So yeah, and again, say I thought of show you the demo of our software. Okay, so it's how it works. Okay, so for you in your data center, it's very simple and straightforward. So just go to vembu.com, and you see there is a download link available on the home page. You just click on this download link, and you can directly download this installer. Okay, there is no question asked. Okay, so you just download the installer right away from the website, and you see you can install the software on these operating systems. So once you install the software, you use any web browser to log in to the console. It's very simple, straightforward. No education is required at all. So well automated. So you just log in with your own credentials. So if you would like to use the default one, which is admin and admin, so it's a default credentials, and you will get 30-day free trial, and again it's a full feature free trial, no restriction at all. Once you log into the console, you see you need to set up the storage target. So as I told you, you can set up multiple storage repositories. Either you can use local disk or a network volume, which may be NAS or SAN, whatever it is. You can just add the UNC path, and you select that for that as a storage target. And you see under backup, you see VMware, vSphere, or Microsoft Hyper-V, or a physical Windows machine. Again, so you can manage everything from one single console. You no need to keep multiple console to manage multiple infrastructure, different infrastructure. So it's all one single console. And again, it's a web-based console. So you no need to be logged into the machine where you have this backup server running on. So you can actually you can use your laptop, and you can just open a browser and type the IP address of the BDR backup server machine :6060, and you are all good. You can configure the backup, perform the recovery. You can manage everything from the single console. So you just enter the credentials of the vCenter or the ESXi host, and that's all. So it will list out all those VMs running inside that particular ESXi host. So you can back up all those VMs or backup specific VMs. So you have option to exclude any specific virtual machine from that host, or you can exclude any specific disk from any specific virtual machine. So you can do all those granular you have all those granular options during the backup. And see, the application level consistency will actually ensure the application running inside the virtual machine, like Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, or Active Directory, is consistent or not. Okay, so it actually you have an option. Say if you would like the successful application processing, which means if the application is not stable, the backup will be suspended, and you will be notified that the application is actually not stable while I'm performing the backup. So yeah, you just resolve that issue before running the backup job, because it's actually not see, backing up a corrupted application is actually not required. Okay, so because you cannot restore anything from that corrupted application. So yeah. And again, say end of the successful backup schedule, it will truncate the transaction logs with the database. So you have all those process, and again say scheduling frequencies. Okay, so it starts from every 15 minutes, and again you can specify when do you want to run the backups, like during the weekdays only or the weekend, so on a specific day or specific time. So you have all those different options available. And the retention, okay, how long we want to keep the data. So like say for last 7 days of data, or last 30 days of data, or 1 year or 2 year, even 10 years worth of data. So you have all those options available over here. So it's very simple. So you see, it's actually self-explained. Okay, so you're just selecting the virtual machines and just specifying when do you want to run the incremental backup. And that's all. So you name the backup job and you save it, so the backup will be running. So after the full backup, it's all only incremental. So, and again, though it may be a VMware or Hyper-V or Windows Server, it doesn't matter. The process is similar. Okay, you just add the Hyper-V host information from this page, and you will be seeing all those VMs running inside that particular Hyper-V. So you can actually select all those VMs, and everything else is actually same. There is no difference at all. So you select the virtual machines and just click next. You see the same options available. So you set up the frequency, and you set up the retention policies, and you name the backup job. That's all. So it's a Hyper-V backup. So you can back up all those different things by using one single console, and also it's applicable for the physical machine. So what is a physical machine? Windows 2003 to Windows 2016. You just enter the host information, IP or the host name, and with user credentials. So again, so once you click on backup, it will list out all the volumes. So you just select the disk or entire machine, and again same option. So enable application never process, and you do the log truncation and the scheduling frequency. So it seems it's very simple. So you may have different environments. Okay, you can use the same BDR backup server to back up all those machines. So it's all same. So there is no big difference at all while configuring the backup jobs. So, and again, when we talk about recovery, again it's same. So no difference at all. Though it may be a VMware backup, it may be a Hyper-V, it may be a physical Windows server. Once you click on this restore, okay, so you have options like say either do you want to perform a quick virtual machine level recovery, so which is instant boot on different hypervisors, or you want to perform a permanent recovery back to the same ESXi host or different ESXi host, or the file level recovery, and again disk level recovery and download which is nothing but it's a conversion. So would you like to convert this VMware VM into VHT or IMG, so which will help you to migrate this VM into Hyper-V or the KVM. So let me show you how the quick VM recovery works. It's very simple. You just go to the page and you select the recovery timestamp. So which time you want to fall back, you select the recovery timestamp. You select the virtual machine, and you select which hypervisor do you want to use for the instant recovery. So yes, as everyone will do, everyone will back up the VMware VM and instantly boot them as VMware. So you know that how it works. So I want to show you different things. So it's a VMware VM I backed up, and I'm going to boot it on Hyper-V. So I'm selecting the Hyper-V and specifying the RAM. So select, click OK, restore, and just opening the console. The Hyper-V. You see there is a VM immediately created in front of you, and you can check the date and time of my mission and the VM when it was created, and you see it's actually started immediately. So yeah, so you see the VM is started. That's all. You can just log into the mission and you can start working on it. So whatever modifications you are doing, and again it will be also saved, so you don't need to worry about that. So once you identified the source hypervisor ESXi host for the permanent recovery, you can shut down this VM and then you can perform the permanent recovery. And again the file level recovery, it's also very simple. So you can just click on this file restore page and check file level recovery, and you need to just select which recovery point do you want to go back. So, and you see it's kind of an explorer, so you just explore that particular virtual machine and you see all those volumes inside those virtual machine, and you can select a specific folder or you can select a specific file for the recovery, and then you can restore them to the machine like the backup server machine, and you can copy that file, or you can, if you would like to download it to your laptop, so you need to just enable this option, so which will compress the data and provide it as a downloadable link, and it will zip the data, so compress the data. So if you want to uncompress it, you would like to specify with some password, so yes, you can do it. So it's well secured even during the restore process. So this is how you can restore the individual files. Okay, so how you can restore the individual application items. So that is also very simple. So you just click on this restore button, and then you select disk management mount, so which is nothing but it will actually create the folders of this particular virtual machine on the BDR backup server machine. So which mean you are going to explore the location of where you have this EDB file or the DIT file. You see there are two folders created. You see the system reserved H and local disk I. This is actually the folder of the VM which I'm backing up. So it's actually created by reading the data on the storage devices like NAS or SAN. Okay, still compressed and encrypted. It's kind of a regular folder. You can just copy this and put it on any location. So it's kind of another way how you can actually use this for recovering individual files. But I'm going to use it to restore the application items. So we provide this universal recovery tool. Okay, it's a standalone tool, and just click next. So select Exchange. So you just need to just launch this application and click open and click browse. So you select the EDB file and you just click OK. So you see which will actually list you all those mailboxes. Okay, you can either export this mailbox into PST format and then import it, or if you would like to see individual emails, or you would like to restore some specific email, so you can just select inbox and you can even read the email from this particular console. So it's very simple. Okay, so you can just read the email, content of the email. Say if you could um, actually add if you enter the SMTP settings, you can even forward the email from this console. So all those things are possible. So we support a granular level recovery for all those Microsoft applications right now. So for any type of data center, it may be any data center. So we support all those data centers. It may be the private, or it may be the public cloud, or it may be the hybrid. Okay, we support all those data centers. So if you would like to try the software, you can just go to vembu.com, www.vembu.com, and just click download the software right away, and you can start evaluating. So you will be getting a 30 days full feature trial, and yes, you can there is no restriction on the features. And again, after the trial period, it will be converted into free version. So again, you will be getting the backup solution. So though you are purchasing the software or not, you will be getting free version. So there is some feature limitations. You can just visit Vembu website to check all those feature limitations. And yeah, so I see there are a lot of questions from the participants, and my colleagues are responding to those questions. So, but at the same time, so we are unable to respond to a few questions. So we will be actually one of our support team will actually get in touch with you. They will actually respond to your questions. Those who are not getting any answers, your questions will be answered by our support team. And again, as I see, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions from customers. Okay, so guys, and again, so we are actually running out of time again. So if you have any questions, and if you would like to evaluate the software, so you are having the numbers on the screen, and you have the email IDs, so you can reach us and you can start evaluating the software. And yeah, we are glad to help you out. So guys, thanks for joining the session, and thank you very much for attending. So we will meet in the next webinar. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.